A long time ago, when I was in my teens and in my 20s, I used to work out a lot. I had bulging biceps and a six-pack from doing weights, swimming and running. But before that, I was bullied quite a bit at school. And as you do, you kind of put up with it. Then as time went by, I started to watch action movies with stars like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, Jean-Claude Van Damme. There was a plethora of muscle-bound action heroes back then. I admired their physique, the strength that they had to do things that no average person could, and obviously the look. Well, I thought to myself, if I build up some muscle, then no one would bother me. So at the time I lived in London, I had a paper round and saved up enough money to buy a weights bench and some weights. I got the train into town and I bought the equipment I needed. It took 2 trips. On the first trip, I picked up the weights bench. That was easy to carry. It was in a cardboard box and had those plastic ties to keep the box together. But the second trip was a struggle, a real struggle. The weights themselves were very heavy, especially for someone who had never worked out before. Even though I struggled with the 40 kilograms, I got them back home, even with one of the boxes completely split. My determination to change my own circumstance and not become a victim had kicked in. I wanted more control, to not be bullied or feel like a loser. So, once I had assembled the weights bench, I went to the library and rented some bodybuilding books. Soon I started seeing my muscles beginning to get bigger, my stomach starting to take shape. But most of all, I began to see the bullying was easing. I started running around my local track each morning. I swam at least 3 times a week. And I used that weights bench with all my might. After only 5 months, the bullying stopped. The moral of the story is that you don't have to be a victim. You can change things yourself by taking control. You can do anything you want with a little focus and determination. With that said and done, we're now here, a good 20 years later, and I've put on weight. I need to get back to that mindset and follow through like I did back then. Because right now, by eating the things I'm eating and not moving around very much, I'm being a bully to myself. Right, so this is the first day of the 10-week challenge, and before we go any further, I need to go and weigh in, see what's happening there. Here we go. And now we have our starting point, 12.1 stone. When I've done the walking in the past, I've used the same route over and over and over. And it's kind of got a bit boring. I think that's part of the reason why I stopped walking. So I try to come out to different places now. That's the plan, to try and give myself a bit of variation. Yeah, no one told you it would get this hard to try and lose weight when you get older. 46, and it is a struggle. This is my 3rd time trying to lose weight. So I've bought some sensible shoes with me, so I don't mess up my trainers. And I've also bought an umbrella, so I don't get wet. It's a bit scary walking on the road. Or even it's a bit scary walking on the road. I just thought I'd come by the allotments, see how everybody's fruit and veg is coming along. Right, so this week I found the diet to be a bit of a struggle. The last couple of times I tried to diet, it's been quite easy. I don't know why that is. I think it might be a case of me just wanting to get old and not care. It's also been a bit of a struggle because on the Monday and the Tuesday, I had both days kind of like messed up a little bit. My daughter was off school, she woke up with a dodgy tummy. And then on the second day, one of our toilets got blocked. Or rather, the drain. So I had to mess about with rods, trying to dislodge whatever it was that was stuck in there, and plunge the toilets and flush all the toilets. So eventually we got someone out to fix it, which they did. So what I'm doing is walking at quite a fast pace to get my heart rate up, which ain't that hard. It's kind of like messes with my head that there's 9 kilograms, 9 bags of sugar inside of me I need to get rid of. It just doesn't compute when you look at it. But it does kind of compute when I'm trying to move around and put my shoes on or get into bed, roll over. Strange. There you go, there's a view of the countryside. These are farming fields here. They plant different crops all through the year. So I think sometimes it's potatoes, sometimes it's carrots, and now it is cabbages. And in the next field, I think it's carrots. And over here you've got some horses. So that's a nice place to visit. Especially as it's so quiet. And this is my first time out trying to record, trying to vlog. I was getting a sense that I would come across somebody, but I haven't yet. And then my shyness or my embarrassment of vlogging would come in, but it hasn't. I am going to be going to different places, so we'll see what happens there. I have tried it in the past where I've been talking to the camera and trying to vlog. But every time I went past somebody, it would put me off. I'd literally stop talking. Right, let's carry on with this walk. So it's October, and I think most of the people around here have stolen or picked up the blueberries and the blackberries off the bushes. Doesn't seem to be any left. There's plenty of veg though, look. Yeah, there's a little camera trick for you. It looks like a jungle. Kind of looked like a shot out of one of those Vietnam films. I've got to take my shoes off now. Right, so now I've got to go home and I've got to spend half an hour on the exercise bike, at least. Now this is a game changer. So I'm going to put this on as I cycle. So instead of looking at these 4 walls and thinking, how long have I got left on this stupid bike? I can just cycle around anywhere in the world because there's hundreds of videos in 360, in VR, on YouTube, and I'm going to use one of them today. So here we go. This thing makes you sweat. And the other thing is, it hurts.